And so the journey begins. Not from earth to heaven, but from heaven to earth. A different perspective. What are we? Spirits, beings of light, in a human physical form. But all of that is forgotten. So we look to the sky for answers and find possibilities of a reality with multi-dimensions and parallel universes. Yet, what we find outside of ourselves is only a reflection of what is inside of us all.
Mind be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Like that, you see?
No, I see. I get the idea.
When I look around, I always learn something, and that is to be always yourself. And to express yourself, to have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate him. Now, that seems to me that is the prevalent thing happening in Hong Kong. Like they always copy mannerisms, but they never start from the very root of his being, and that is, how can I be me?
I completely agree with you, and we're going to get attacked for this by people who are unhappy with their choices in life. And that's a fact. You know, there's a bunch of people that will say, yeah, well, I have a family, so, you know, it's a great idea for you to just go out there and go crazy. I have people to support. You need to listen. Stop saying that. Stop saying any of those things. Every single person who has ever done anything worthwhile or exceptional or difficult or extraordinary, anyone, whether it's great artists or authors or mathematicians or whatever the fuck it is, everyone encounters difficulties. There is no easy road. It does not exist. It is impossible. Everyone has issues. If you have time to pursue a hobby, if you have time to do anything in your life, you can better yourself. And here's one way you never better yourself. When you come up with excuses for why other people are successful and you're not. That shit is fucking dangerous. When you give yourself an escape, yeah, well, that's easy for you to say, you know, you do this, you do. Trust me. Everybody has a hard road. I wanted to jump out a window several times during my young life. I wanted to jump in front of a fucking train and just end it because it's too much pressure. We all go through hard times. We all go through depression. We all go through doubt and moments in your life where it's really fucking difficult and you're trying to figure out what the fuck your path is going to be. It's hard as shit. But that is what makes you a person. And those difficult moments are what build your character. Show me a great man who's the son of a great man. You know, that's what we're saying. These kids that are born billionaires, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're never going to be a self-made person. I think everyone looks forward to this utopian time where whatever motivates them, drives them, freaks them out right now can be set aside, the work is done, and you can just sort of like watch the sunset over the pond. And the problem is this utopian vision of the future that we have is probably a carrot that's on a stick that we'll just never reach. And we keep working hard to improve our society and our life and ourselves and our families and our relationships, hoping that one day we'll achieve this ultimate peace that will never come.
That's it. How did it feel to you?
Let me think.
Don't think. Feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Do you understand?
There is a dictionary version of awareness, awakeness, so on. That's trivial. It's true, but it's trivial. My own working hypothesis is that consciousness is a byproduct of spirit entering dense matter. And spirit can only enter dense matter if one does work on themselves, inner work, to build infrastructure into self.
Right.
And as you build infrastructure into yourself, more spirit enters, therefore more consciousness exists within you, and you become aware of things you were never aware of before.
Right.
And then you do more work on yourself, and you become more conscious, and you unfold step by step.
Right.
All of us have within us the capability of doing that. All of us have the infrastructure. Our experiments show, I can relate how and why, but they show that the human acupuncture meridian system is already at the coupled state of physical reality, which means that humans, using unconscious intentions or conscious intentions, can move qi. Qi, in my modeling, is magnetoelectric energy. It's the counterpart of electromagnetic. It comes from the higher gauge symmetry state. Human biofield builds this space around them.
Right.
It becomes a sacred space, becomes them. We can do all things, ultimately, as humans. As humans, we become the receptacle of everything. I look at this outside of us as just a classroom, created for our development. We are the product of the process. We're not aware of it, but we are the product of the process, and we're built by the process. But we have free will, and we choose our process.
Therein lies the...
Yes, indeed. We choose what to believe in, what not to believe in, what to test. I'm fond of saying, if you don't see the traps in life, you have to go through the crap until you see the traps. Because you've decided that's your only teacher.
Right.
I mean, if you're not going to really think and reflect about things, then this is nature. This is why it takes such a long time for humans to evolve. There's been a book written by a man by the name of a Dane, name of Tor Noratrander, called The User's Illusion, Cutting Consciousness Down to Size. And one of the important things I found there was the awareness that the human unconscious is about 1 million times the information handling capacity of the human conscious. Human conscious is less than 50 bits per second, whereas the unconscious is more like 50 million bits. Just at the 5 physical senses level. Nothing deeper than that, just at that level.
Really?
And what the unconscious, so unconscious is doing all of the work.
Right.
It's gathering all the information, it's processing it, it's doing all kinds of things, and it feeds little kernels of information to the conscious, but of a size that the conscious can digest, so it can have an experience in life, an awareness.
Right.
But if the unconscious has not given meaning to certain things, if the conscious has not given meaning to it, then the unconscious will not wrap those up in kernels to send to the conscious. So it's like a filter that an individual does on their own unconsciously, and so they only become conscious of things as they give meaning to them. And what we give meaning to, we become. And the more in experiments, the more you condition a space with your meaning, the more it becomes.
But then isn't
like
that
you.
an arbitrary application?
Of course it is. But that's what our growth is. That's why our potential is so great. If people don't do work on themselves inside and really treat each other as brothers and sisters, and you know, I mean, it's been said many, many times, many times,
yeah.
What we have to do. And it's really so simple. But you have to get past your own ego. The ego is a good thing, okay? But it's usually in service to self. But if you can put your ego in service to the larger whole, then you have a chance of really contributing to the world and the growth of the world and what we can be.
You see, actually, I do not teach, karate because I do not believe in styles anymore. I mean, I do not believe that there is such thing as like Chinese way of fighting or the Japanese way of fighting or whatever way of fighting, because unless human beings have 3 arms and 4 legs, we will have a different form of fighting. But basically, we have only 2 hands and 2 feet. So styles tends to not only separate man, because they have their own doctrines, and then the doctrine became the gospel truth, that you cannot change, But But if you do not have styles, if you just say, well, here I am, you know, as a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely? Now, that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, you know. I mean, that way, it's a process
You
of
still think of yourself
continuing.
Chinese, or do you ever think of yourself as North American?
You know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. Because, I mean, I don't want to sound like, you know, as Confucius say, but under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different.
I think that our main problem as human beings is that we are in a stage of evolution, and we're in an adolescent stage, and we are certainly passing where we used to be, and our potential for evolving above the basic fight or flight instincts, and our potential for evolving above just animal brutality and anger and jealousy and all these things that we think that we need in order to compete and survive. We have potential to rise above that, and that's what yoga is all about, and that's what meditation is all about, and isolation tanks, and people who are psychedelic enthusiasts. What that's all about is this struggle up this slippery slope to get to the top, to have just a little better view of what the world could be. And I think that's the potential that we have inside of us. It's all moving towards that, you know, human understanding, the idea of human enlightenment, you know, this quest to get your shit together. It's all moving away from these nonsensical animal instincts to something higher and more evolved. And I think that potential is the only good thing that human beings have. It's like we have this potential for one side or the other. We have this potential to be like, you know, like an evil government that corrupts its citizens, or we have this potential to be a brother. We have this potential to be a sister. We have this potential to be someone who loves you like they love family, like they love themselves. We are here in this temporary situation as one gigantic hive, one superorganism, and that the more love you spread out, the more positive energy you spread out, the more you get back. You know, the more it comes back to affect you, and it goes out in ripples, because the people that you affect, they affect other people as well. And the more positive you spread out, like literally you can change your world. You can change the world of the people that you come in contact with. You know, I think that is what human beings are slowly starting to realize, and that may be what God really is. What God might be is everything.
Ignorance, the most violent element of society, is ignorance. Ignorance is the key to everything, because everything comes from ignorance. What we will challenge, what we will accept, what we will respond to, what we will ignore, all comes from ignorance. What we will support and what we won't. We have been systematically put into a state of unconsciousness so that we cannot see what we are part of and what we are experiencing. We call it education and learning about the world. No, it's learning about the world that in power wishes us to believe in. Go to work, get married, have children, act normal, walk on the pavement, watch TV, obey the law, save for your old age, then repeat after me, I am free. And we keep having to say we're free, and in America they keep having to tell the people they're free every 5 minutes, because they might otherwise suss that they're not. Open your heart, change the world. This is the key. This is the key. I am love. You are love. We are infinite consciousness. That is the true self. We are all one, and we are remembering we are all one.
My practice is merely to respect my unconscious mind, who often is much wiser than the conscious part of me, and pay attention to what it says, So there has to be a new way of looking at the future, and that is that we're all humans, members of the same species, on one fragile little planet. We're all in this together, and we're all in this together.
Infinite power has always been within you, claim it. It's just there to be taken. We will paint a new picture, a new tapestry. I believe now that we are at the end of the beginning. I am, we all are freedom. We have the power. Human race, awaken, awaken. Awaken! Thank you, good night. Thank you. Thank you.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water, like water, like water, like water. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Water can flow or it can crash. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend. Running water never goes stale, so you gotta just keep on flowing, keep on flowing. So you gotta just keep on flowing. So you gotta just keep on flowing. You have to train. You have to keep your reflexes so that when you want it, it's there. When you want to move, you're moving. I mean, you gotta put the whole hip into it. Snap, snap, become one with her. You better train every part of your body. I mean, you gotta put the whole hip into it. Snap, snap. You better train, become one with her. You better train every part of your body. Running water never goes stale, so you gotta just keep on flowing, keep on flowing. So you gotta just keep on, gotta just keep on. Under the sky, under the heaven, there is but one family. Do not believe in styles. Styles separate man. It's a process of continuing growth, process of continuing. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Water can flow, or it can crash. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend.